Right then, Paul, can you tell us what you're doing with regard to the car? This is the car that we have to have ready in 3 days, isn't it, Paul? For driving.
Yeah.
To get off the mountain, because we can't get off the mountain otherwise, can we, very easily?
No, the push bike is alright for going downhill, but it's not much cop for coming back up.
No.
Again, when it's 400 metres above sea level.
And our neighbours have 7 dogs, don't they?
They do, and he's a bit exposed doing it on a cycle.
Yeah.
It's on the flat past their house. Once you get past the house, it's uphill all the way, and you can't outrun them dogs. They do 20 miles an hour, no problem.
Yeah.
So what we have got here is the old engine mounting.
Okay.
And there you can see the cracks in the rubber.
Right.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I've zoomed in on that, yeah.
The cracks in the rubber where it's perished away. And you can see it there on the bottom.
Yeah.
So now we have a new one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's
There you
nice
can
and
see
shiny.
the difference.
Yeah, that's very good,
Difference
isn't it?
there. They're not the easiest thing. They get easy enough to get them out. Because you just have to jack the engine up and all the holes and that, everything lines up. But it's when you come to put it back again, that's when the problems start.
Okay. Is this the crucial bit where you said that the bolts were sort of seized in? And
No. This is because the easiest thing now with the engine all in bits, it exposes these parts. And so it's easier to do this because there's only half the weight of the engine left.
Okay.
The problem with the bolts is this is the length of the bolt.
Right.
To hold the cylinder head in with the nuts on there, screws in.
Yes.
On this bit here. You can just probably see these holes, 10 holes.
Yes.
Each side. And these bolts screw in to those holes. They have a little nib in the back there for a screwdriver.
Yes.
There you go, to screw that in. The problem being
yes,
that it's a cast iron block. And getting these out with the heat differences with the aluminium head and everything, they're sheared off.
Right, and have you a tool to get the sheared off?
So we have got here
right, let's have a look.
A selection of stud extractors.
Okay.
That I have bought.
Right.
Which are with the bits and with this one, screw extractor, which I'm hoping I'll be able to get them out.
Okay, and can you just tell me, how did the car get into this state? Because it was running, wasn't it, at one point?
It was running.
You did say in the previous video it ran quite well, and
yes.
Now it's in bits. So how did it actually come to
What happened was that ultimately this car had all of the mechanics and everything had been refurbished by the previous owner. He spent a lot of money doing it. The problem was that when he either passed away and sold it on to the next person,
yes,
they tried to tighten the cylinder head
right.
down, which you have to do after so many miles.
Right.
And they basically sheared the bolts off.
Ah.
So in effect, instead of having 10 bolts holding the cylinder head
yes.
onto the block, the cylinder head is the bit in the top where the petrol comes in, and then these are the pistons where you get the explosion and the compression that turns the engine.
Yes.
There's a gasket that sits in between here. But you can see here this distortion.
Oh yes.
Which has occurred where the gasket has lifted.
Right.
And so therefore the compression, the explosion of the compression has come out.
Yes.
And water gets in.
Right.
The engine overheats.
Yes.
Causes the heads to distort because they're aluminium.
Ah.
And causes them to start twisting. It opens the gap up even more.
Yes.
And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy over a period of time.
Right, okay.
So unfortunately, because it was never tightened down properly when it should have been, the person who then did it out of probably ignorance, then sheared the bolts off because they were just turning. Nothing was on one side. I think there's 3 or 4 broken on one side.
Right. Yes.
So I'm hoping there wasn't a crack. And then one, I think, on the other side, but it's predominantly on one side.
Right.
And they're very poor for circulation and heat problems, these engines, in the first place.
Right.
They're basically a disaster.
And how old is this car?
It's 1973.
1973, and this is a Triumph Stag, is that
Yeah,
right?
Triumph Stag.
Okay.
V8, original Triumph V8, which was basically, unlike the Rover, we used a Buick V8 engine, very, very good engine. Triumph decided they're going to do it themselves, and they got 2 straight 4s and they welded them together.
Okay.
Which basically means that the water doesn't flow across the bottom.
Okay, that's fine. And so you're going to attempt to try and get the bolts out, is that right? And
Yes.
you're going to attempt to then put it back together, rebuild it. Is this something you've done before?
I've done, not the bolt extraction, I haven't done that. And I've not done this, and I've not worked on this engine before.
Right.
But I have the manual.
You have the manual, yes. And is
I
that
have some spanners and
yes.
some years of experience, so
yes.
hopefully if I can get, the main thing is if I can get the broken studs out.
Yes.
Because if I can't get them out, then the man quoted me €400 for doing it.
Right, and then of course it's the availability of the man as well, isn't it?
And I just don't have that money now.
Okay.
So I'm going to carry on, get this mounting done.
Yes.
Change the other one, I think is all right. And we'll double check again. We'll get this mounting off, replace it with the new one, and then we can start prepping everything. I think it's probably better to start the drilling in the daytime. So I will look at the other mounting and that, start cleaning things up in preparation for the drilling.
Okay, so you'll have to drill those sheared bolts out.
What you have to do is you basically, excuse me, if you imagine that this is the, I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, that's good, it's picking up.
If that's the hole with the threads in it.
Yes.
Where the bolt would go inside there.
Yes.
You have to drill into the centre of the broken bit of bolt.
Right.
So where if you can see that little centre black dot.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, can you see it there?
Yeah.
Look.
Oh, we're moving in and out, yeah.
Yeah. You basically got to drill a hole there.
Right.
If you see that black square, that's basically what you're looking at.
Yes.
Drill a hole in that.
Yes.
And then you get one of these
bits of new
tools.
kit, yes.
And it has a reverse thread.
Right.
So as you screw it in, it's actually trying to unscrew itself.
Right.
So it goes into the hole and it will force itself round.
Yes.
And you'll get to a point where it won't go in anymore.
Right.
And it starts to exert the reverse pressure to undo it.
Right.
So, but it's high tensile steel.
Yes.
So it's very difficult to drill it. So we'll just have to hope for the best.
Okay.
That's why I've got two lots, one with the things in it and one with the drills.
Right.
As well. So we've got plenty of drill bits. We'll just have, and then you have to be careful that when you're drilling that you don't get the bits of metal in these other holes. So you have to cover all the holes up and that. So once I change this this mounting, what we will do then is clean that and then start preparing it for the drilling. We mean basically cover up all the holes.
Okay.
And everything.
Okay, and
the problem is you're trying to get the drilling there. You've got no room at all, so you've got to use the hand drill.
Okay, and how successful do you feel this will be, having looked at how the bolts are sheared?
To be honest with you, until I start drilling it, I can't say.
No, and how many sheared bolts do you have to remove?
5.
5, okay. And are they, in terms of the way they're positioned, are they, do you think, easy to get out, or are they deep within the hole? Or
well, they're deep within the hole. They're not, none of them are sticking out.
Right. And are they in these holes here?
They're in the holes there, yes.
Right, so if I move the camera a little closer, do you think I can actually see them, or is it just...
No, wait a second.
Oh, it's a bit dark in the hole there, so I can't actually pick them up on the camera.
Yeah. But you see, I'll try and give you an idea.
Okay, yeah, that would be great.
Of how far.
Okay.
See, that one, you're not going in past there.
Okay, hold on a moment. There's just that. Oh, that's the distance they're
That's
in.
the distance that's gone.
Okay.
That's gone down. This one has gone in.
Well, that's quite far, isn't it?
That much. So you're talking about, this is a blocked one.
Yes.
This one is clear.
Okay.
This one is blocked. You can see where my finger is there.
Yes.
That's blocked. This one is blocked.
Okay.
I'll find out about that one. These I don't think go in quite so far.
Okay.
They're all the same. They don't go in so far.
Okay. So if
that's the thing, you see. They only go in a short distance.
Okay.
which is basically the distance of the thread.
Right. And so if they're sort of not as deep as the one you showed, does that mean they might be easier to get out, or
He's not, well, the thing is, he makes access for the drilling that bit easier.
Right. Okay.
Then, you know, this one here, you've got to try and drill past all this stuff.
Yes.
Fortunately, the bottom ones on this side are clear.
Oh, that's good then. And will the bits, when you drill them out, will they just fall onto the floor below, or will they?
No. You have to, with this extractor, it's like screwing
it comes out, does
screwing in it, and then as you do it, it will start to unwind it.
Oh, okay, and it'll come out that way.
And it should unscrew itself.
Okay.
So once we know here which ones of these
yes
have got the
bit in it.
The bit in it. There's 3 there. There's 2 on the other side. We'll put the lubricant spray in there to try and ease the threads.
Yes.
And you know, hopefully we've got to try and unwind them out.
Okay. And so say you are successful in getting the bolts out, what would be the next plan of action for the car?
Well, then if we can successfully get the bolts out, then we can look about into the reconstruction mode and how to go about that. To rebuild it.
Okay.
I have the gaskets all in the back of the car.
Yes.
And it should be a case of cleaning the heads off, these bits off again, and realigning the timing chains to make sure they're in the right position, because if they're not, we'll never get it started.
Okay. All right. But this is, I suppose, a good opportunity for you to work on this project, because there's now a desperate need, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, now the thing is we're working on the Vicente apartment to try and get the work done there. And before that, we were trying to get this place ready for the last winter, cutting wood and everything else. So now those wood cutting jobs and all that all still need doing. But in the meantime, we are stranded here. We can't do anything. The work in Vicente is done. But we've got the guests coming, and we have to be able to get down there.
Yeah, that's it.
We don't have a choice. There's no cable car running from here to there.
No, that's right.
I can get down the hill probably on the bike, worst come to worst.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to walk back. But it's no good trying to carry loads of stuff for bedding and things for changeovers and whatever. And people have said to me about hiring a car, going into Pescara and hiring a car. But we could be 2, 3, 4 weeks, if maybe more even, where we need to hire a car in a peak season. Yeah. Holiday season. We'd just be broke. We haven't got that money to pay thousands of euros for car hire.
There is always the tractor.
There's the tractor, yes, I can get down the thing with the tractor.
Yeah, very, very long way, wouldn't it? We're on the tractor.
Yeah, I've got to somehow put the diesel tank in my luggage and then try and get it full up.
Yes. And then the bedding changeover, I'm not quite sure how that would work on a tractor really, let alone getting down there on that. So, okay, well that's good. I'll leave you to it, but that's great for the update. Okay. And then we'll have to check in with you again to sort of see how things are going in the next video.
Yes, I want to see me tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll see how we get on.
Okay then.
Luckily my bench is right here. I just need to make some space in it to work. Because as you can see, this is not the most ideal place to try and find anything. No, that's a lot of the kids' toys, isn't it? So, okay then, we'll let you get on with that then. All right, thank you. Hopefully it's not too boring, but it's vitally important that we get this done. Yes, yes, exactly. So we can actually leave our mountain, beautiful as it is, but we are a bit stranded. So yeah, we need to do that. Well, we press on. Yeah, keep positive. Try and get the job done. I've not done this before on this. I've never done one of these engines. So it's all new. It's all an experience. I just hope it's a good one.